Every person wants to think that they're good at what they do. It's natural, it's human, it's part of us, and in many times it's also what makes us money. But what if it's not true? What if you're horrible at what you do but you don't actually know it? And that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. And how you can find the truth. I think this topic rings true for most of us, at least in this very particular beginner-ish stage. Because I can't say I'm a total beginner because I've been doing this for like 2 years now. However, I did really start to take things seriously about a year ago. But I also know that in the grand scheme of things, I haven't done enough reps or had enough experience to actually propel myself into the stratosphere. I mean, my income and knowledge has grown, but you'd think that after 2 years I'd be making at least minimum wage. I always think that I should be farther ahead than where I am right now. Like, for example, I have a goal that by year's end I'd be at around 4K-ish per month, because Google says that's the median wage for someone in the US, and I think that would be pretty cool to have from where I'm living in Egypt. Or at least 3K, because that's what I need to qualify for a digital nomad visa for Spain. You know, just kind of a fail-safe backup plan in case things really here go down the drain. I promise this whole spiel is gonna make sense by the end of the video. Maybe that whole self-aggrandizement of, hey, I should be farther ahead than where I am right now is actually more of a Dunning-Kruger's effect, which is also our next point. And I think that we've all had our encounters with this effect at one point or another. Say that you pick up a new business venture, you get on your first sales call there, and by some chance of beginner's luck, they actually buy from you. You think to yourself, this was so easy. People are paid thousands for this? But little did you realize it was actually because the prospect just liked how you look and you seemed kinda trustworthy, so they said, why not? And you know what they say, a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. So you try to get another sale. You set up a sales call, you wait for the prospect to come in, you say your greetings, but then after that, nothing. You can't say a single word, you completely blank out, and you fumble it completely. And when it ends, you think, maybe I just need some inspiration. So you go onto YouTube and you try to type sales calls, how to do them right. And then you find an endless ocean of sales content and business training, and then you realize to yourself, oh. And everything you thought you knew about how good you were shattered in a million pieces right before your eyes. It's a bit dramatic, but I think it communicates the point quite nicely. If the Dunning-Kruger effect is, this is so easy, why do people make a fuss about it? Then the more you know, the more you realize you don't know is the antithesis of it. And it's probably the biggest thing that stops us in developing in whatever we are actually trying to get good at. And what's deceptive about it is that you don't even really realize it until you're a little bit farther along, after you tried, failed, learned, experimented, tried, failed, learned, and experimented quite a few times and iterated through that. Because it feels like we've earned it. I've been doing this for X time, I should be good at it by now. Which is wrong, because you don't know what you don't know. When you don't know much about something, say marketing, lead gen, or sales, then you can't grasp, even if you try to sit down and think about it, just how much of the content of that knowledge field you're not actually aware of. It's like trying to make a million colors while only knowing 2 of the 3 primary colors. Because the base that you're drawing from isn't that big in the first place. But when you know a lot about it, about how many types of it there is, how different ways work better for different audiences, about how just a couple words can change entirely the outcome of something, then you realize you can't make a definitive judgment on anything really. But then you run into this and you're like, oh, I see. This is the very symbol of why we're not growing as fast as we think we are, and why it's actually deceptively good at hiding from us. Information gaps. Maybe you've heard this from somewhere else, and I hope it's properly showing up on the camera, but take as if the outer circle is all knowledge there is about some certain field or topic, and say the little tiny circle at the start is beginner you. You don't know a lot, so the parts that you think you're not aware of is actually pretty small. But as you expand and as you learn more, that surface area around near the edge at the perimeter becomes larger and larger, and you realize, oh, there's actually a lot that I don't know about this. But when you're small, you become arrogant, you stagnate in your place. And stagnation is a price that we pay for this arrogance. I mean, if you think that you know everything that is to be known, then why would you push any harder? Why would you try any more? Why would you try anything else when you know that the thing that you're doing right now in your business is the best that ever was, is, and ever will be? And so we stagnate. Months by month passes with no measurable improvement or difference in whatever the metrics that you are tracking to measure the growth of our work. And the only remedy that I found for that is to constantly assert in my mind that I don't know anything, and so I need to daily practice, research, improve, and figure out different ways and better ways to do things. And you know, perhaps a very subtle sprinkle of paranoia thrown in there, you know, just to keep me on my toes. After all, you only really work as hard as you think that you need to work. I was doing 1 sample a day and 10 outreach DMs because I thought, hey, that's the bar. Until I saw someone do 10 times that and realized, oh, I'm missing the mark on this so bad. Leading us to the ultimate point of this video is that we need to find some way to differentiate between reality and our perception of it. How do we know if we're really doing enough or not? How do we know if we have a right to think that we should be farther ahead than where we are right now? Honestly, this isn't something that I found a rock solid answer to, and I can't look at success and use that as an indicator because it's a very, very lagging one. You work hard for a few months and then you start to see some trickles of your old success flowing down on you from up on high. So I can't look at my revenue for the month and tell you the case about that. But what I think does work is seeing what the people that I admire were doing at my stage in time and then seeing if I'm matching up to that level of effort and output. Because that led them to where they are right now, and so it should do the same for me. But I'll let you know how that goes in future videos, and if you want to hear more about business stuff specifically for me, then I have a newsletter for that in the description. Here's this video if you're feeling down about your business, which I'm sure maybe this video could have had some tinges of that in you. And with that, I hope to see you soon. Sub if you like this, and bye.